Good morning, everyone. This is the Telarus Tuesday call for February 28th, 2017. Another month completed toward a record-setting year. And if you're in Utah, only 6 months more until spring, apparently. I know everybody loves it, but we locals are having some issues with the continuing snow. Come ski there. That's the travel ad. I'm Doug Miller, Telarus VP of Complex Sales. I'm here all morning. Try the chicken fried steak, and don't forget to tip your server. I'm joined today by Mr. Geoff Chretien, North American Channel Sales Director for InContact, in a conversation with Telarus' own Bryce Hayes, Senior VP of Operations. Geoff and Bryce will discuss the importance of contact centers for your clients, one of the most efficient and profitable solutions your clients can embrace, and one of the easiest and most lucrative selling opportunities available for Telarus partners. You'll hear why and how InContact solutions help you meet your clients' unique needs. It's Geoff Chretien and Bryce Hayes. They are coming up in just minutes. If you happen to miss last Tuesday's call, please take a listen to the recording in your Telarus partner back office and hear our conversation with Dan Foster, President of Business Markets at Megapath, a leading provider of voice, data, security, and cloud services in North America. Dan is responsible for Megapath's strategic direction and management of the sales and marketing organizations. Dan clearly demonstrated why Megapath is such a critical offering for customers in so many industries, and detailed the benefits of Megapath's SD-WAN solution, their ability to provide nationwide access, and their premier voice and unified communications as a service offerings. Check out Dan Foster's presentation from last week's Telarus Tuesday call. For today's event, we invite you to follow both our accompanying video link and also our live chat feature, where you can submit questions and comments throughout today's event. Both are located at telarus.com/start. There is big news on upcoming Telarus events. First up, tomorrow night, for partners in and around the Telarus headquarters location of Salt Lake City, join Electric Lightwave, Navisite, and Telarus RVP Mike Batillion for a night out with the NBA's Utah Jazz as they take on the pesky Minnesota Timberwolves. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Mountain. The party begins much earlier at 5:30 at the Vivint Smart Home Arena, home of the Utah Jazz. Spend time with Telarus, the only master agent, including free monitoring on every circuit, and learn how to build greater revenue with Navisite and Electric Lightwave. Tomorrow, contact your Telarus support manager today for details. And then here's some advance notice about next Wednesday, March 8th, as our partners in St. Augustine, Florida, can join Level 3 Communications, Accel Networks, and Telarus RVP Ruth Morford as they host a special wine tasting event at the San Sebastian Winery. This event runs from 4 until 6 p.m. Eastern, a great opportunity to meet other Telarus partners and learn how to build your telecom practice with solutions from Accel Networks and from Level 3 Communications. Hope you can attend. And last week, Telarus partners in Denver and Houston joined us for the Telarus Innovation Conferences. The pictures were all over LinkedIn and Facebook. First-class events. Thanks to all of our partners and suppliers that made these two conferences such a success. The Telarus Innovation Conferences continue with 2 events scheduled in March. In Baltimore, Maryland, on Tuesday, March 21st. This will be at the M&T Bank Pavilion, part of the France Merrick Performing Arts Center. And then on Thursday, March 23rd, in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Hard Rock Cafe, the Velvet Underground Room. Bring your laptops and smartphones because the 2017 Telarus Innovation Conferences focus on hands-on training and real-life applications. You'll come away with actionable items to help grow your business. And just for participating in our interactive training segments, you'll be entered for a drawing for an Apple Watch and other great prizes at the end of the conference. You have not been to a Telarus Innovation Conference like these. Register today by contacting your Telarus support team. They will handle all of the details. And please mark your calendars for the 2017 Telarus Partners Summit to be held June 19th through the 21st. once again at the spectacular Stein Erickson Lodge in Deer Valley, Utah. This will be the 6th edition of our annual event, and true to form, it promises to be even bigger, even better, and even more valuable and fun. Hundreds of Telarus partners, the best Telarus suppliers in one of the most beautiful mountain settings that Utah has to offer. Registration will open soon, and available spots are expected to go quickly. Mark your calendars now and join us June 19th through the 21st for the 6th Annual Telarus Partner Summit. More information about all of the upcoming Telarus events, including the Partner Summit, and some exciting video from past events can all be found at Telarus.com/events. Can't wait to see you there. Well, all right, let's get started. We begin today, as we do so often, by recognizing those Telarus partners who top our leaderboard, who put up the largest deals of the preceding week. Everyone wants to know who the truly successful partners are selling and where to find and close those big deals. Here are the top 3 sales from last week and some recognition for our high-performing partners. In this week's 3rd position, Telarus congratulates John King and the team at J. King & Associates, DBA Intelligence Partners, your telecom and IT consultants. They are in Shelburne, Vermont, just outside Burlington, a town of 45 square miles, more than half of which is water. Intelligence Partners put together an outstanding sale of fiber Ethernet services from Light Tower to a customer in the medical services industry. Light Tower, as you know, is a premier provider of all-fiber, high-performance networking solutions delivered over their own network and enabling award-winning customer support and service reliability. Intelligence Partners is a full-service, independent telecommunications and IT consulting and sales agency with a team proudly offering more than 100 years of combined telecom and IT experience. Congratulations, John King and the team at Intelligence Partners on this terrific Light Tower sale. And in this week's 2nd position, Telarus congratulates Tom Spooner and the team at Enterprise Telecom Partners out of Bellingham, Washington. Tom and Enterprise Telecom Partners closed a terrific sale of fiber Ethernet services from LightPath to an international customer also in the telecommunications services industry. LightPath provides Ethernet-based data, Internet, voice, and video transport solutions, and managed services to thousands of locations in the New York metro area, and are part of Altice USA Business. Enterprise Telecom Partners has provided telecommunications solutions and IT consulting to customers worldwide since 2001. Enterprise is a full-service agency helping their customers design, implement, and manage data networks. Congratulations to Enterprise Telecom Partners and LightPath on this outstanding win. And topping the leaderboard, congratulations go out to Marilyn Dooley, founder of Telco Management Group in Ackworth, Georgia, your single-source solution. Marilyn and her team expertly closed a monster of a sale of both cable and fixed wireless services from Granite to a very large retailing customer. Now, Granite is perhaps best known for their voice aggregation services with enhanced support, one point of contact, and one bill. But Granite also provides managed services, data access, and network integration and deployments as well. Maryland has assembled a large and knowledgeable network of telecommunication professionals, sharing their expertise and pursuing the single goal of finding the best possible solution for each client and their unique situation. Congratulations, Marilyn Dooley and Telco Management Group. This phenomenal Granite deal is our top Telarus sale of the week. We thank all of our partners and suppliers for your dedication, loyalty, and hard work. Telarus is proud to be your partner, and we appreciate your trusting us with your business. Before we go further, acronym alert, acronym alert. Here is some very exciting news about Telarus from ShoreTel and what are known as SLED or SLED opportunities, those involving state, local, and educational institutions. For both cloud and on-site ShoreTel services, Telarus has been added as a ShoreTel authorized reseller for KCDA procurement opportunities. That's the King County Directors Association, the purchasing cooperative owned by Washington State Public School Districts. And Telarus has been added as a ShoreTel authorized reseller on U.S. Government General Services Administration procurement opportunities as well. Further, yes, there's more. In the states of Utah, Nevada, and Washington, Telarus has also been added to the equipment contract of NASPO Value Point. That's the National Association of State Procurement Officers. WSCA, that's the Western States Contracting Alliance Cooperative Purchasing Organization. There will be a quiz. Again, their equipment contract for Utah, Nevada, and Washington. And more states may soon be added as well. The market for state and local government IT spending alone is projected to be $112 billion in 2017. You want a piece of that? If you have a ShoreTel opportunity for purchase through GSA, through KCDA, or through NASPO, Telarus is ready to help you win. Telarus partners see what others can't by using the exclusive unified communications tools and resources within GeoQuote. The market for Telarus partners' success has just widened once again. Thank you, ShoreTel, for working with Telarus to offer these additional opportunities to Telarus partners. Well, here is a peek at this week's training calendar. We are featuring 4 excellent and timely opportunities from our suppliers. Take a look and see how your telecom practice might benefit. 3 of these are being held tomorrow, Wednesday, March 1st. So grab a stash of Cheetos and Pepsi, some Crayolas and cardboard, and settle in for some information that will set you apart. First up, tomorrow beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, RapidScale presents another in their series of informative webinars, this time covering how to sell RapidScale products, updates on the cloud industry, tips and tactics, and much, much more. RapidScale's fully managed cloud solutions make it incredibly easy to integrate applications, users, accessibility, and efficiency into businesses of any size. RapidScale's product webinar starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then right afterward, tomorrow, Wednesday, March 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you have a choice between 2 topics, SD-WAN or network security. MetTel is presenting special SD-WAN training on how to go beyond the hype and provide customers with MetTel's unique SD-WAN solution. MetTel takes an angle that covers you as a managed service and saves far more money than a hybrid or SD-WAN solution alone. MetTel can also enable your clients to more efficiently connect to the cloud. During this session, MetTel and research firm will be sharing WAN trends, customer demand dynamics, and customer needs that are driving hybrid WAN demand, which has led to SD-WAN implementations and deployments. It's MetTel SD-WAN training Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And also Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, if network security is your immediate interest, plan to join this special training from XO Communications. As Security Solutions Architect and Certified Ethical Hacker, that's the title I want, Scotty Webb explains how to determine what you have that's most valuable to hackers, the best ways to focus limited resources on protecting your most valuable assets, and which parts of your network security can be outsourced and which to keep in-house. Firewalls are necessary, of course, but they are not enough. The most damaging attacks can happen inside your network walls. Learn how to identify the assets that hackers are most likely to target and the top actions that your clients can take to defend against them. It's the XO Communications Network Security Webinar, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And finally, on Thursday morning, March 2nd, right here on the Telarus Bridge, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Masergy will present exclusive Telarus partner training on increasing your revenue with Cloud Contact Center with Christy Thomas, Masergy VP of Cloud Communications. Masergy's Cloud Contact Center enables unified omni-channel interactions with customers. Now, omni-channel refers to voice, IM, email, SMS, and social media. Route all interactions to one or more Telarus, or to one or more teams, sites, or outsource resources with a single global queue in the cloud. Manage and monitor more intelligently and gain flexibility with the new Masergy Cloud Contact Center. This special training will help you maximize your telecom practice revenue. Join us Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern right here on the Telarus Bridge. The details and registration links for these and for other live and recorded learning opportunities are in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. And thanks again to all of our suppliers for continually providing outstanding partner training. Well, each week we pass along some of the best available spiffs offered to Telarus partners for sales of popular products from our suppliers. And there are some terrific offers available. Here are just a few to whet your appetite. Check them out and see if you and your clients could benefit from one of these featured solutions. First, from 8x8 Global Cloud Communications, it's called Earn Some Serious Cash. And that means you can earn some serious cash. Bring a new customer to 8x8 and receive a spiff on the deal based on MRC. Deals greater than 1,000 MRC earn a 1x spiff. Deals greater than 2,500 MRC earn a 1.5x spiff. And deals 10,000 MRC or greater earn a 2x spiff from 8x8. Or you can cheat a little bit. Bring 4 of the 1.5 deals, and 8x8 will boost their payout to 2x on those 4. 36-month agreements required. New customers only. Earn some serious cash with 8x8 now through March 31st. And then second, don't miss this terrific opportunity from ShoreTel. You've already heard about their big deal cash back promotion. It's an immediate % of MRR payout for all deals greater than $2,500. In addition to your regular commissions. Now, the bonus payouts range from 50% MRR for deals over $2,500 to 125% of deals greater than $20,000 MRR. Well, that's all well and good. However, now, through March 31st, ShoreTel has just added a big helping of whipped cream and a cherry to this incentive. Partners will now receive 300% of the value of eligible deals won greater than $2,500 MRR. So, sell a $5,000 deal, earn $15,000. Sell a $20,000 deal, earn $60,000. There are no limits to the amount partners can earn through this promotion. It's the ShoreTel Big Deal Cashback promotion with the 3X incentive now through March 31st. And finally, check out this outstanding offer from Exceed. It's their Countdown to Launch spiff, running now through April, but trust me, you want to sell Exceed now. Eligible Exceed sales earn a 100% spiff in April and a 200% spiff in March. And here's a tip. There's still a 300% spiff available on deals placed February 1st until today, February 28th. But you got to hurry if you have one. That spiff is counting down to 2X beginning tomorrow, March 1st. Wherever you do business, Exceed has you covered. Don't miss this chance to earn bonus dollars on sales of Exceed Business Satellite Internet for primary connectivity, backup redundant connectivity, or managed Wi-Fi services. Exceed fills in those coverage gaps. Take advantage of the Countdown to Launch bonus dollar spiff today. And there are many more spiffs, promotions, and bonuses available. You can check them all out at promos.telarus.com. Well, as mentioned earlier, I am very happy to welcome Telarus Senior VP of Operations, Bryce Hayes, to the Telarus Tuesday call with a very special guest. And Bryce, I got to tell you, these pictures on screen of you and Geoff look suspiciously similar. And I notice I've never seen the two of you in the same place. Bryce Hayes.
We're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty. I think we lost Doug. Just give us 1 minute and we'll be back online.
And we are back. Doug Miller and Bryce Hayes. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Bryce Hayes introducing Geoff Chretien.
Well, hi, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I was about to make a comment that I felt sorry that somebody thinks Geoff and I look alike. He's a far more handsome man, but very happy to be here with you guys today. Last month in January, I had the opportunity to go to Houston and to join the InContact team as they did their annual sales kickoff. It was a truly fantastic conference, and there were lots of opportunities to really dig in and figure out where InContact was going. Some of you are aware that last year they were purchased by the NICE Corporation, and at least out of the gate there were some questions as to what this was going to look like and how things were going to work. I came back from that conference not only completely jazzed with where they're going, but really thinking that there was a tremendous benefit to our partners. And so I've asked Geoff to join today that we would have an opportunity to talk through things. Steph, if you'll advance the slide. So a lot of contact centers, when people start to look at things, it looks a little bit like this cartoon. And I figure that any time that you can lead with a Calvin and Hobbes cartoon, it's probably a great day. And as you can see here as you read through this, Calvin, he'd created his transmogrifier. And the idea behind that is you stick anything in the box, and then out at the other end comes exactly what you're hoping for. And what I have found with contact center solutions, especially with small and medium-sized businesses, is that they start to look around and say, well, we want to do this and we want to do this. And it has to be something more than just writing it on the side of the box. Ideally, what we're looking for is to create some form of a custom solution. The funny thing is with the cloud these days, the ability to expand that box has actually become a reality in many cases. That you can go back through and you can start with perhaps a beginner package, and then you can start to expand from there. So when you start looking at the terms of contact center here on the next slide, when we talk about the idea of a contact center, you're really going back through and trying to figure out how you get everything integrated. How can you take an automated communication system that can coordinate everything you want to do, all of your phone calls, all of your electronic systems? And we have thrown so many acronyms into telecom that when we hear certain terms, we hear things like ACD, we hear things like reporting, we've kind of blended those things together. And so people are looking at this and trying to figure out, well, how in the world am I supposed to do these things? How am I supposed to be able to handle all of these different features? And listed here on the screen, as Steph advances the slide, there are all sorts of terms. That you've got self-service, you've got texting, you've got ACD, social, reporting. Keep flipping, Steph. Chat, email. The ACD reporting, call recording. How in the world is anybody going to be able to make sense of this stuff? I spent over 20 years in the contact center industry, and I can tell you that even today, trying to go back through and sort out how all of these things work can be a real challenge. And if you're a small and medium-sized business, being able to go back and figure out how you can utilize these things to look and feel a certain way really is a challenge. So when we hear words like CRM, we hear ACD, well, I think most people, especially those who are not in telecom, are asking themselves, well, I don't know if I need that. It sounds more like a disease in some cases than an actual tool that's going to help the business. And that is where InContact has come in as a contact center solution to help things out. Go ahead and advance, Steph. The goal has always been, when you're talking about contact center, you have one purpose to having a contact center, and that is to connect your business to the customer. The challenge, though, is to go back and figure out what should that look like. You could probably go on the lowest end and you could hire a guy to go out and spin signs on the sidewalk and say, come to the store, or you can try and pinpoint it and you can get specific and start emailing your best customers. These two graphs were put together by the Avaya Consumer Preference team. And the idea behind that, and this still applies today, is to figure out who am I supposed to talk to? What would create the experience that people really want to see when we talk about contact center? Now, 6 months ago, I got on the phone and I shared some key stats that talked about how voice is really not going away. But on top of that, they have certainly added these features. So thinking back to Calvin's transmogrifier box, as you're looking as a small business to figure out, well, how am I supposed to talk to people? 10 years ago when you ordered a pizza, it would have been absolutely unfathomable to think that you could have got online or got on your phone or talked to your Alexa Echo device and basically said, order pizza. Today, nobody calls. They have found a completely new way to talk. Now, it doesn't mean that people don't need to get a hold of the store. It doesn't mean they don't have phone systems. But they've certainly had to go back to figure out how it is that they're going to reconnect. And so I have listed just a couple of questions here at the bottom that I'm going to bring Geoff in to help me with to answer here in a moment, which is really what you want your business to look like. If you want to be Bob's Garage and the only way to reach Bob's Garage is to show up, then that's fine. If you want professional service, or if you believe it needs to be some form of a receptionist, those are options. The question really comes down to what you want it to look like, how you want people to perceive your business. Is it professional? I think all of us have probably made the call to either a local serviceman or handyman or maybe a plumber and gotten the receptionist or the automated voice recordings. And then those people usually call back. That, again, is well and good, but it depends on, are you losing business as a result of not being able to connect with your customers? And that is really the key sticking point that any end customer is going to have, is how can you help me as a partner or as a telecom specialist jump in here and help me figure out how to talk to these people, that they don't go away, that I don't lose them, that I can track them, that I can stay on top of my game and make sure I'm answering these individuals. You need to figure out how people want to talk to you, who they should talk to, how you're going to connect them, and then ultimately how you're going to measure your effectiveness. Go ahead, Steph. Go ahead and advance the slide. So I have invited Geoff Chretien, who is from InContact. Geoff he's the Director of Channel Sales for North America. And really I've given him one overriding topic, which is effectively, how is it that you find these opportunities? What is it that we look for? So we've heard in multiple calls that contact centers or needing to have these tools is a critical thing. But how is it that we find these things? So Geoff, I'm going to turn it over to you. Steph is driving the slides, and I'll turn it over to you, and then I have a few questions for you here at the end. Steph, I think you might be on mute. Can you unmute Geoff? Geoff, do we have you?
Yeah, there we go. I just got unmuted.
Perfect. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been here the whole time. So, and Bryce, I would debate that assertion that I'm much better looking than you, because I think those pictures tell a different story. So. But thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. And your last couple slides, I think, were spot on. And really, if I could just say something to kind of frame this discussion, and that is that, this whole idea of omni-channel in the contact center is really predicated on one overriding theory, which is that the customer experience is now the new battleground for competitive differentiation. And so what you're looking at right now is sort of a tipping point in the customer experience world, whereby businesses, are kind of hitting a tipping point where they've got antiquated technology that's not really meeting the needs of their customers. And so when you look at those needs, you look at things like social media and self-service and mobility and text and chat and email. And these are all newer methods of communication that aren't typically associated with a call center. But nowadays, call centers are really contact centers, and we've been saying that for years. And really, what it means is that a business needs to be able to interact with its customers in a manner in which they want to interact with them. So much like a business, would historically compete on product and price, now they have to compete on service. And so, one of the key things is to be able to offer the opportunity for your customers or people that are engaging with you to be able to interact with you in a manner in which they want to do so. So maybe it's different interactions through the customer journey. So maybe it starts with a phone call, but maybe it finishes with a chat, or vice versa. Maybe it starts with a chat or a text, and it finishes with a phone call. So these sort of this customer journey has really shifted and evolved, and it's really been shining a bright light on the technology aspect within the contact center. And so this is a huge business. I mean, we in the telecom or the connectivity side, we hear a lot about SD-WAN these days. But I assure you that the cloud contact center industry, the opportunity is, I think, equally as big, and it's over the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be growing exponentially year over year as more and more businesses are looking to move into the cloud to be able to offer the features and functionalities and, frankly, the customer experience that their customers are demanding. So if you want to advance the slide, we can look at a couple of things that as far as what to look for. One of the biggest questions I get from partners that I see and talk with about contact center is, that all sounds great, but I don't know that I have any customers that have contact centers, or I don't know what an opportunity looks like or how to find one. And let's be honest, I mean, we don't necessarily want to go initiate conversations about complex topics that we don't thoroughly understand. And that's just human nature. And but one of the things I think that is unique about InContact is that we have a sales model where we have professional contact center experts in our direct sales and engineering departments that we team up with our partners. So we don't have any channel conflict like telecom carriers typically have, where channel sales is outselling and direct sales is outselling, and oftentimes you're competing for the same customer. We don't do that at InContact. We team up both sides. So you as the partner, when you're working with us, really have what amounts to free consulting from a sales and an engineering perspective to go out and help you find and win these opportunities. But so that's I think a great thing for us, and I think it's most of the partners that we talk with and work with at InContact really appreciate our go-to-market sales model. But beyond that, really what to look for, it's really very simple. Contact centers, especially these days, aren't really hard to find. And one of the easiest things to look for is if you have customers that have a toll-free number, that number is being routed to somebody or something, and so there's likely a contact center behind that. And one of the things I would challenge you is if you're not sure what their contact center functionality looks like or feels like, or if it makes sense, call the number. And you as a technical person, call that number. If the logic, if the routing makes sense to you, then maybe they're in good shape. But if it's kludgy, if it's confusing to you, imagine how it would be to, I always say, my grandmother, or somebody who's not technically inclined. So if they have a toll-free number, that's a dead giveaway. If they have a website, especially with chat or email functionality, or perhaps not, maybe that's something they need. So if they have a website, that's another clear and present sign that a contact center may exist. The other thing is if you've sold them a large amount of bandwidth recently. Businesses that have a large amount of bandwidth, are probably have some unique reason for that, and we may want to explore that further. So those are some of the things to look for that I think are simple to remember, easy to keep with you, And as you're having your discussions with your customers, keep those in mind. Now, with respect to discussions with customers, contact centers are a little different because they're not really a transactional sale. They're more of a business outcome discussion. So you're going to want to have that discussion with somebody in the C-level or somebody who's in operations. And believe it or not, most companies that have contact centers will have titles like VP of Operations or VP of Contact Centers or people of that sort of level and scope of business. So those are the people you really want to talk to because it is really it's a cultural sort of business culture decision to move to the cloud, and to move the contact center to the cloud is really it's an economic decision, it's a business outcome decision. It's not really a transactional decision. So you're going to want to have it with somebody in leadership or somebody who's specialized around the contact center. So another thing to look for is if during those discussions you're finding that customers are moving other items to the cloud. That's another thing you're going to want to keep in mind because maybe you're discussing with them about moving their phone system to the cloud or their security to the cloud or their any other items that they may have. The contact center is probably part and parcel with that, or could make a very compelling shift to the cloud for all those services. And another thing to consider too, recently here with the VIA filing for Chapter 11, there's a lot of customers out there that we've heard from already that are just nervous about that and what that means. And many of the customers that we see have antiquated VIA architecture that's premise-based. And so moving off of a premise-based system to the cloud just makes total sense. And that's really one of the main things that's driving this seismic shift to the cloud for contact center. So again, customers that want to increase revenue, they want to reduce costs, they want to improve customer satisfaction. For true business agility, these are all things that are all benefits to moving to the cloud for the contact center. So, Bryce, I hope that kind of gives a good thorough answer to your question, and I hope all our listeners find that helpful.
Absolutely. So I've got a couple quick questions for you that we might be able to expand here. So
Sure.
You guys are the cloud pioneer when it comes to contact center. What is it that the cloud provides to contact center and to SMB that perhaps people don't know about? Is there a secret ingredient or is there a secret sauce?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. I think the biggest thing is that when you move the contact center to the cloud, much like other mission critical business technology services, you get tremendous efficiency gains. The TCO ROI discussion is very, very compelling. And so oftentimes when you look at a premise-based contact center, you've got a lot of people that are tasked with running that, break fix, upgrades, all of those items to keep that contact center running are very labor and cost intensive. And the other thing is that when you need to make upgrades or you need to make changes, these things take a long time in a premise-based environment because somebody literally has to come in with a wrench and make these changes. And so they can take days or weeks. Whereas in the cloud, if you need to make a change, you can go in and the change can be made instantaneously. So it gives you much, much more business agility. The other thing is if you've got a business that experiences any shift in seasonality, so if there's spikes in businesses throughout the year, in the cloud, you can scale your business up and down based on business demand. So you're not overbuying technology to meet your busiest demand. You're literally paying for what you're using. And so companies that that have multiple locations, companies that have at-home agents or want to deploy an at-home agent strategy, the cloud as an ecosystem for the contact center enables you to do these things extremely efficiently. And the other great thing about it is that if your contact center is small to large or fluctuates between the two, the cloud really it gives you the capability to do that and really right-size your business based on customer demand.
Absolutely. So I have two questions for you, and then we're going to turn it over to the audience. The first, you talked about ROI, which I think is a salesperson's dream. So anytime you do have the opportunity to step in and to help people to create an ROI, what can InContact bring to the table to help partners on the phone today to either determine or to maybe put together a better ROI story for a potential customer?
Yeah, it's a great question. So part of our sales model is that we do an ROI analysis. So we'll look at what the customer currently has, and we'll look at where gaps in efficiency are, and then we'll use that to put forth our proposal for service. And so you can see right away what the customer's paying, previously, what they're using, what they're getting for their investment versus what we can do. And so in many instances, some of the cost savings associated with a cloud deployment are so sizable that the ROI is almost immediate. And so we can, with our sales model, we can help the partner understand that on each implementation or each opportunity that we work together up front, so they know exactly what the ROI is of the project.
Thanks, Geoff. My last question for you is, if a partner on the phone today had an opportunity or had a deal, what is the best way to engage InContact? And ultimately, can you maybe walk through what that qualification, that first engagement, those first couple of meetings look like, just to give an overview of the steps that you take?
Yeah, absolutely. Great, and that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. So as an extension of our sales model that I explained earlier, the way the process works is I have a team of channel managers across the country that work for me and that support Telarus, and I have them. Each one of them owns a region of the country, and so we have them, throughout, and they're loosely aligned with the field regional vice presidents within the Telarus family, so that when those partners in those geographical areas have an opportunity for us or a lead, they'll engage us. We will then register that lead in our portal, in our partner portal, and so that effectively puts police tape around the lead, so that we know that no other partner, in our referral or master agent channel can register that lead. So that's tagged to the partner that registers it first. So when we have that, then we have a discovery call with the partner so that we can evaluate the opportunity and the resources that we need to bring to bear. Once we do that, then we'll schedule a call. And again, this is all at the partner's guidance. I mean, some partners want to hand us the lead and let us go run with it and let them know when it's closed, and we're fine to do that. Other partners want to be quarterbacking the whole process, and we're fine with that too. We just want to know what that process is up front so that we can establish a cadence with the partner throughout the process. But what invariably happens is that we will, once we have the discovery call and we line up our cadence and our approach on how we're going to work together, then we'll have what we consider to be a discovery call with the customer. We will evaluate their needs. We'll evaluate the opportunity, their budget, their timeline, and all of that, and then we'll move forward with the project. And then that's really when the magic happens, because our sales rep, who's an expert in contact center, and his or her sales engineer that works alongside them, along with the channel manager on my team, and then of course the partner, will work in lockstep together to evolve that process and hopefully go out and win a new opportunity.
Geoff, great information. We are speaking with Geoff Chretien. He is the North American Channel Sales Director with InContact, as well as with Senior VP of Operations here at Telarus, Bryce Hayes. Geoff, a few questions that are coming in from some of our partners watching and looking here on the chat line. Wondering about marketing materials and information that partners should be using and getting in front of their clients. Is there any kind of a battle card, marketing slicks, or other materials that you have put in either the Telarus back office or at other sources that they should be getting in front of their customers when they think they have an opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a whole library of wonderful marketing material from how to spot a deal cards to customer brochures, to various material on our specific products. We've got all of that, and we can get it to the partner on a case-by-case basis. We've got it in our partner portal. Our channel managers have it, so we can get it to the partners a number of ways. But we do have a whole library of information. In fact, on InContact.com, under our resources tab, we've got data sheets and case studies and white papers, and so we have a whole library of information that's available to the partners.
I want to thank John Arnold out there on the chat line for a little endorsement. He said that he was successful with a large InContact sale. First working with the customer himself to get much of the information up front, requirements, number of seats, functionality, specific needs, that sort of information, and then engaging InContact. And he says, you did a great job to establish credibility and fill in the blanks. We've had this same question for a couple of partners on the chat line. At what point is it most ideal, Geoff, to bring InContact into the mix? Obviously, there's a sifting out period on the front end where you're trying to determine the correct solution. At what point do we get you involved?
I would say early. The earlier, the better, because contact center opportunities can take a long time. Sometimes they're very quick, but sometimes they can take a long time. And and again, our sales resources and our process that we bring to bear for the benefit of the partner works best when we're in at the beginning. So what I would say is, and I would encourage everybody on the phone today that, remember those three things: toll-free number, website, lots of bandwidth. Those are all great indicators that a contact center may exist. If the contact center is antiquated, if it's premise-based, if it's limited in its functionality and capability, if you're having discussions with the customer and things like improving our customer experience or improving our customer satisfaction scores, if any of those things come up, those are great indicators that the contact center may need an overhaul. And so the earlier you can get an insight into that as an opportunity, is the better to register that lead with us through your channel manager, and then we can help guide you throughout the process from the beginning. So I would say the earlier the better. And even if you're not sure, don't feel like you have to be 100% accurate that it's a contact center opportunity before you engage with us. If you're not sure, that's fine. We're happy to help you. We can usually tell real quick if there's an opportunity that exists for us. So I'd hate for you to not be sure, not say something, or hold off, and then perhaps we miss out. So I would tell you, the earlier the better, and if you're not sure, don't worry about it. We're here to help you.
So Geoff, it's Bryce again. One other thing I just wanted to chime into this team about is the fact that with Avaya effectively struggling, and that's the only word that I will use at this point, there are so many opportunities to go out and talk to CIOs, CTOs who are really faced with a challenge ahead of them of not understanding where we go in with that tool. Any word of advice as to how to approach those customers?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the great things about offering a cloud contact center solution is that we don't have to replace the phone system to be able to operate. We can lay right over top. So let's say, for example, that somebody's got an old but functional Avaya system with the contact center built in, but the capability is in the contact center is really what's causing the problem, but not necessarily the phone system. We can lay the InContact solution right over top of the Avaya PBX, essentially repurposing the PBX for its basic intended function, and move the contact center capability now to the cloud. So now you've got a best-of-breed solution that's enabling a business to meet the needs of their customers now without breaking the bank and without replacing a PBX system that perhaps the customer can use for a few more years. So it gives them an immediate opportunity to impact their business without having to write a big check and without having to replace equipment that may still be usable. So that, I think, is probably one of the key takeaways for those of you that have customers that have aging Avaya infrastructure.
Geoff, I think the pitch is working. Partner David Randolph is being proactive and wants to develop a working relationship with InContact even before he's got a lead. Well, what's the best way to establish that relationship and become familiar? Should they be reaching out to you, to their Telarus Partner Support Manager? Where do they go for some of the information that they need to help identify some of these opportunities? And then we've thrown back up on the screen here the list of conversation starters. Direct a couple of comments, if you would, to those and how they can go about finding these opportunities.
Yeah, so as far as the engagement, if the partner does not know who their InContact channel manager is, then I would encourage them to contact their Telarus Partner Support Manager or Regional VP or whoever the appropriate resource is at Telarus to get that information. And then the appropriate member of my team will reach out and establish communication with that partner. And then, frankly, if we have anybody that's interested, we can do that proactively. Even if there is no lead immediately to be registered, because sometimes we have these discussions and we have them 2 or 3 times, and then all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and there's 2 or 3 leads that come from that. So we're extremely patient, and we just really it's a sincere privilege for us to be able to work with all of you. The channel is a huge piece of InContact's business. We've never been more devoted to it and have never invested more into it. So, but yeah, I would, to kind of just frame that, I would say, if you don't know your InContact channel manager, get with your Telarus representative, and they'll get you in touch with your InContact channel manager or me. I think Bryce, you guys can email my contact information out after the call. But we'll get you routed to the right person. With respect to conversation starters, these are some great questions. We can just take them from top to bottom. But and again, these are things you don't have to go. It's not necessarily a pitch session to go to your customer, and you're not. The initial discussion isn't really pitching them on InContact. It may not even be a technology discussion initially. It's just more of a business outcomes discussion. So things like, how does your current platform handle seasonality, right? We've mentioned seasonality. What's your at-home agent strategy? Maybe they'd love to be able to develop an at-home agent strategy, but their current infrastructure is too rigid and not enabling them to do that. What about budget constraints? Again, InContact lays over top of the existing hardware, so we can extend the life of the PBX. We talked about that. DR, BC, what's their strategy around that? How does the current contact center support other channels such as mobile, chat, social media, self-service, text, email? And, those are a lot of the areas that we're seeing that legacy contact centers are falling short. And so we offer a great way to be able to enhance those capabilities. And then finally, really, what's the company's strategy for integrating all of these things? So we often, integrate with billing systems and CRM systems and phone systems, and so and we do it through APIs and other means. So what's the integration strategy? You'd be surprised how many contact centers or how many customers, I should say, have on their website they might have an email capability. Email us here at whatever the email address is. And then that email goes and it drops into an email box someplace that the agent in the contact center literally has to get up out of their chair, go walk over to some email box, find the email, and then respond to it. So very clunky, inefficient processes. So that's another big one, is what's the strategy around integration with disparate and multiple systems. So, but these are all great conversation starters. That actually comes right off of a marketing, a partner marketing brochure that we have. So we have these available in soft copy, PDF, or in hard copy as well. So I encourage you all to arm yourself with some of these data sheets and some of these things, and then keep them in your briefcase, and that way you have them whenever you need them.
Geoff, great information. We are running short on time, but have been talking today with Geoff Chretien, from InContact and Bryce Hayes, Senior VP here at Telarus. Great information. If you want further information, check out all of the information in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. Terrific information there from InContact. You can also go to their website at incontact.com to find out more. And if you have opportunities, let's put you in touch with Geoff and his team and continue this conversation. Geoff, Bryce, thanks very much for the information today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
You bet. That will about do it for today. Our thanks to everybody who participated. We apologize for the technical difficulties on the call. We'll work to get those corrected. Thanks for hanging in there with us. As always, if you have other input, comments, and suggestions for our call, please direct those to marketing@telarus.com. We appreciate your partnership. Till next Tuesday, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. If you're in Utah, Jazz Timberwolves tomorrow night with Electric Lightwave and Navisite and Telarus. See you there. Have a great selling week, everybody.